Hi everyone, it's Crystal. If you do not remember me, I have posted my college reactions video and my stats and ECs and essays video. This video is going to be touching more on different opportunities that you should be seeking out as an underclassman or even a rising junior. Also rising seniors, honestly. I'm going to touch on quite a bit, but yeah. So if you want to know a little bit about me, you can go watch my other videos. I've shared a bit about my background, where I'm from, and things of that nature. I'm a current senior, basically at the end of my senior year, so I have a lot to share. Today's video is going to be broken down into 3 categories. I'm going to touch on seeking out shadowing opportunities, which are basically when you job shadow, you basically like view someone in their workplace and kind of just get to experience the day with them. It's a very fun and exciting opportunity, and it can help you it can inspire you to go towards a certain career field. The second category is going to be some programs to look into. I've been in a bunch of programs and I know of a lot of good programs, so I wanted to share that for any underclassmen out here. And our last category is going to be on passion projects, and I'll dive into what exactly those are a little later on. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so how to seek out job shadows. So as I explained, a job shadow is an opportunity for one to experience a day in the life of someone working a certain profession. So my first job shadow was when I was 16. So my official job shadow was at Lurie Children's Hospital. I knew that I wanted to pursue a career in healthcare, but I wasn't quite sure what it would feel like, how the setting is like, and so I really wanted to experience it. So I was 16 at the time, living in Chicago, and that summer before my junior year, I decided to seek out a job shadow. So before I start on how exactly I landed one at Lurie Children's Hospital, I just want to say that coming from an introverted person, the worst that can be said to you when you ask is no, or just like zero response. So it's okay. But with that being said, I'm just going to jump into where you might want to start. So if you're a minor, you most likely have a primary physician, like a family physician. So you might want to start there and contact them and ask them if it would be possible for you to shadow them, because you kind of already have a relationship with them, especially if you've been going to them for a while. So that's your first step. You can search up your primary physician's name and try to look for a phone number or an email you can reach them at. For me personally, I was kind of like failing at doing that. I couldn't really find my primary physician's email, so I went another avenue. So this avenue, you're gonna search up hospitals near me or whatever like profession you're looking into. I don't know if it applies to every, but I just know that I'm speaking on behalf of like healthcare shadows. So hospitals near me, clinics near me, whatever. And you're gonna search up their directories. Now, directories are gonna have like the contacts of all of the doctors or staff working at said space. So I knew that I wanted to work with children, so I know I wanted to be in a pediatric setting. So it was kind of easy because in Chicago, like, we have one of the best, or if not the best, children's hospital in the nation. So I just searched up Lurie Children's Hospital directory or Meet the Doctors, and it gave me a full list of all the doctors working at the hospital. So as I said, I knew I was interested in pediatrics, but I'm not too sure of the specializations I would be interested in. So I was rather open-minded, and I would advise you guys to be the same, because securing a job shadow isn't as easy as one may think. So if you have somebody who's willing to give you that opportunity, then you should just take it. And either way, like, you're gaining something from being in a hospital environment, or the environment that you aspire to work in the future. So after that, on the directories, at least at the hospital I was looking at, they had a bunch of info. They had actual photos of the doctors. They had the colleges that they attended, their background, and their specializations. So I basically scouted who I would want to job shadow, and I screenshotted their profiles. And you might be wondering, what are some things that you should note if you're trying to look for someone instead of just choosing randomly? Like, for me personally, I was looking at people who might have been like younger, just so I could relate to them a little bit more, and so that my questions towards them could be a bit more like answerable, you know what I mean? It's two different paths when you're looking at a minor and like a 60-year-old doctor versus like a 35 or 40-year-old doctor. So that was just my preference. I also looked at race and background. So most of the doctors that I reached out to were female and people of color. And I didn't too much care for the colleges that they attended, but I do know that in my situation, if the colleges were kind of big names or well known, it was kind of easier to find their emails online, because some people, you will not be able to find their emails online even if you have their directory page found. So most of the doctors that I encountered on the Lurie Children's directory went to Northwestern, which means that they still had their Northwestern email that I could reach out to. Or they were also professors, which also helped because I could reach out to them that way. So that was what I did. And moving on to what I did once I got I think I contacted about 3 to 4 people. So what I did once I got my contacts was I cold emailed them. And what that means is just like, you just email them, no fault, like you just email them. So I'm gonna put my email up here, but just know that you can apply this to a clinic, and you guys are free to use my email template. It's 2 years old, but hopefully it's still useful. So I said, "Dear Dr. Blank, I hope this email finds you well." And then I said, "My name is Crystal," and my last name, "and I am a rising junior at said high school with a strong intellectual curiosity in health and medicine, particularly pediatrics. Growing up, I have always wanted to give back to my community, especially as a female of color." So I kind of just wanted to touch on our similarities, because she was a female of color. So I really wanted to really put that out there. I'm reaching out to inquire if it would be possible to shadow and observe your work as a physician. I have great respect for your expertise and experiences you have gained through your journey in pursuing medicine. Your specialization in pediatrics and anesthesiology, so this doctor in particular was an anesthesiologist, which I wasn't necessarily interested in, but as I said, like, you're given this opportunity and you just ultimately just want to feel that hospital environment for the first time, so why not? Aligns with my areas of interest. It would be an incredible opportunity for me to learn firsthand about the responsibilities and daily routines of a practicing physician. I understand that your schedule may be busy, but I am flexible and willing to accommodate your availability. I'm also open to any specific requirements or guidelines you may have for shadowing. So, during the summer, even for the summer, like, I was working. So if you're working, it might be a little bit more difficult because you do have to accommodate their schedule. Like, for this specific doctor, I think she could only have me on Tuesdays or Thursdays or something like that. So it was kind of difficult. And you really want to align with their schedule because they're doing you a favor. I said, if it is convenient for you, I would greatly appreciate the chance to discuss the possibility of shadowing further or to answer any questions you may have. Please let me know if there's a time when we could schedule a brief phone call or in-person meeting to discuss this opportunity. Thank you for considering my request. I truly value the insight and guidance that shadowing a physician like yourself would provide. I look forward to hearing back and hope to have the privilege of observing your work. Sincerely, Crystal, last name, and then I put my pronouns. So that was essentially what I sent, and she ended up reaching out maybe 2 days later, and yeah, that's basically how it went. I could insert a few photos. I don't think I took videos, but a few photos of me and my scrubs and everything, because I did have to get into scrubs, and I witnessed 3 surgeries that day, so that was fun. And it was ultimately a very good experience for me. I got to ask her questions throughout the day about what her journey looked like, and it was honestly a cool experience. So yeah. Hopefully this is applicable to other career fields. I believe it is. I'm thinking like for people who want to be engineers or more technology based careers, it might be a little bit more difficult because I wouldn't really be sure as to who you would be able to contact, but I'm sure you guys are way more advanced in, you know, who to reach out to. So with that being said, I'm gonna move on to our second category, which is programs I think you should look into. So there are a bunch of different categories of programs that people should look into. I'm not going to name I am going to name specific programs, but I'm not going to be like, go to this one, this one, this one, this one. No. There are different kinds of programs that you can seek out as an underclassman. The first set of programs is going to be college access programs. These programs are preparing you for college. They're going to help you with college essays, kind of like thinking about how to choose colleges and how to start your list, things of that nature. Now, a lot of my stuff is going to be Chicago specific because I am from Chicago, but I do know that if you guys search, you guys can be able to find ones in your cities as well, but I also, not my whole list is in Chicago. So here we go. So first there's UChicago Scholars. That is Chicago based, and I believe it is open to sophomores and freshmen, and it's a college access program. Like I said, it provides all of the things that I listed and more. Now here's the one I did. It's Morton Shapiro Northwestern Academy. So it's affiliated with Northwestern, and we basically did everything that I listed, and we also had college trips paid for. So I think UChicago also has that, but maybe a little at different times, obviously. So in my experience for the Northwestern Academy program, I went to Northeast colleges the spring of my junior year, visited a bunch of colleges, Northeastern, Boston University, Tufts, Bowdoin, Bates, Harvard, MIT, all these different colleges, and it's an amazing experience because these programs are completely free. All you have to do is submit an application and most likely be low income. I think for Morton Shapiro Northwestern Academy. I'm not too sure about UChicago. But yeah, it was honestly an amazing experience. These are programs that help you throughout your whole high school. So it's not a year-long program. It's not a 2-year-long program. If you start at your freshman year, you're going to finish at your senior year. And even then, they're going to still be providing support as you go to college and whatnot. So yeah, if you guys have any specific questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me. I have friends that have done UChicago Scholars, and I myself have done Northwestern Academy. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Sorry. Next up, this is for juniors who are about to be seniors. So these are not necessarily college access programs, but they're more like they assist you with the college application process. My first one that I've done is Bottom Line. They basically help you prep for college interviews, plan like what's suitable for you college wise, whether it's based on location, the overall vibe of the campus, and also based on like your family income and what you guys can afford. Super helpful, and just a really nice environment and support system to have your senior year, because it does get overwhelming. And even though they're going to be checking up on you to the extent where it's like, oh my gosh, please stop, at least you have someone there, because I know that not all schools have access to those kinds of resources. So it's great that these people are here to, you know, support students that need help like that. And next that I've heard of that a friend has done is Thrive Scholars. I believe you also applied to that your junior year. A fun opportunity that I heard about with Thrive is that you get to spend 6 weeks at Amherst. I don't know if it's just Amherst, but I do know that I have one friend who did it last year and one friend who's doing it this summer. So from what I hear, it's an amazing experience. 6 weeks out of state, you get the college experience, and I think during then you do a lot of workshops, college prep, essays, everything. So seems like an amazing experience, and one that you do not have to pay for. So definitely look into that. Next up, I have Chicago Scholars. This one is also a college access program, and it is Chicago specific. It's very similar to a Northwestern Academy and U Chicago Scholars. So I'd also look into that. I do know that they also have like early acceptances to some colleges due to the program itself. Kind of like, think like Posse and Questbridge. It's kind of like that in a way that you get your decision a little bit earlier, but I don't know too much about it. All I know is that from like my experience, I know people who've gotten in early because of the Chicago Scholars Program. Anyway, now we're going to be moving from college access or college related programs to pre-college programs. So these pre-college programs, they're a bit controversial. Ultimately, my take on pre-college programs is that if you're looking for an experience where you want to meet people and get that college feel, like staying there for 2 weeks or 6 weeks or a month, go ahead and do a pre-college program. The only iffy thing about pre-college programs is that for the most part you are expected to pay, and so there's nothing bad about being expected to pay. But if your only goal for attending a pre-college program is to like amp up like your extracurriculars or your college profile, then I would reevaluate applying to these, because these are not very prestigious. Considering the fact that you have to pay for them, even if they have a low acceptance rate, it's still that you are going, like, you're paying for them. So if you want to actually do something that will strengthen your profile, then I would steer away from pre-college programs. But if you're doing it for the reasons that I listed, like meeting new people, getting the college feel, especially if you like the college, then do it. I personally did do a pre-college program. I did Yale's Young Global Scholars Program last summer in 2024. It was an interesting, unique experience. I was there for 2 weeks, and I think prior to that, I really wanted to go to Yale, but after the experience, it kind of opened me up to newer colleges and to life in the Northeast. And I think it's super important in that way to attend a pre-college program, because you're getting a very different experience as a minor and you're getting that independence. So it was fun in that way. You're meeting people from all around the world, because Yale's program is global. So you're meeting people who are coming from China, Kenya, like all these different places, and it's honestly such a beautiful experience. You get to take courses and it's fun. Like it's fun. So that's what I have to say about pre-college programs. And I also wanted to plug in for any Chicago people. I think they have a summer program at Swedish Hospital where you just get to, I think in some cases it's online and others it's in person. I don't know too much about it, but I just wanted to plug that as well. Moving on to our last kind of program that I really recommend are fly-ins. So a lot of people don't know about fly-ins, and I honestly didn't know about them until my junior year. Fly-ins are when colleges fly you out, all expenses paid for a day or two to experience their college. I know, crazy. So I did 2 fly-ins, one real fly-in, because the other one was virtual. So fly-ins are very competitive. They are very, very competitive because, as I said, you're getting flown out, all expenses paid for, so they're not just gonna give that opportunity to anyone. I personally went to Claremont McKenna's fly-in. It was so amazing. It was so amazing. Like, I just wish that, like, I was rich so I could go to college in California, but nonetheless, it was still such an amazing experience. You meet people, you get to get another feel of campus or just like a state in general, and it's just a beautiful experience that I think that you guys should look into. There's like a full list of colleges that do fly-ins. They usually open around this time, like April, May, June, July, I want to say, and then you get your results around August, September. So definitely look into those. Those are really, really helpful, especially if your parents or your family cannot afford to fly you out to colleges that you're interested in. Hello, apply to these programs. There are so many colleges that do fly-ins. I know Yale just they just started a fly-in program last year, and like I applied to Pomona's. I did their virtual fly-in. There are so many fly-ins that you guys can do. I'm telling you, there's a whole list of it. There's a whole list. So look into those, and yeah, come on, like, don't miss out on an opportunity like that. The last thing that I'm going to touch on are passion projects. Now, I feel like I'm going to go more in depth on this topic in my extracurricular video, or like, I don't know, because I did already make a video on ECs, but I think like I might do like a Q&A or like what inspired me. But I just want to touch on passion projects because a lot of people don't know what they are. A lot of people are told different things about passion projects. So what is a passion project? It's basically how it sounds. It's a project that one starts that shows their passion or their dedication to a certain thing, a certain topic, a certain concept, a certain idea. So it can range from huge things like starting a nonprofit that aids people with disabilities, or it could be something more lax like a YouTube channel or an Instagram account. But what's super important is that you want to make sure that your passion project is showing not just your passion, but that it's connecting you with other people. So like you can't just like write a book and then like you're not really selling it, or you're not really like, you have to do more than just start an Instagram account or whatever. My personal passion project was my health podcast, and the way in which I touched my community or contributed to my community, because they really want to be able to see that you instill some kind of change, is by inviting people from around the world to talk on my podcast. And we touched on so many different health topics. We also partnered with organizations that, you know, did a lot of donations towards the specific health related topics we had each episode. And so you really want to do something that's not just showing your passion, but also showing that you're collaborating with other people and you're contributing some sort of change to the community or to the environment. There's so many different ideas you can do for a passion project. How I came up with mine, I don't even know, because I really honestly don't know. I was gonna start a club at my school at first that partnered with Red Cross, but I just felt like a podcast was more of my thing because I love to connect with other people and I love to talk. So yeah, passion project, I would definitely recommend Teneo College Prep if you want to learn more about passion projects. That's honestly my favorite college influencer, the most reliable one in my opinion, and you're going to learn a lot about the college process and what college admissions officers are looking for more and more. So definitely tap that follow button on TikTok if you don't follow him. And no, I'm not being paid to say this or anything, but he's honestly, like, I followed him since like the end of my sophomore year, and I literally recently just unfollowed him because like I'm done with that journey. But he was an amazing person to hear from during the college app process, so I would definitely recommend. If you have any questions about thinking about passion projects and things of that nature, you can definitely reach out to me. My Instagram is always going to be in the description box below. But with that being said, I hope this video was able to help you guys, and just know that what I said is it's a lot of info to digest, but feel free to revisit the video a few times. And I really hope you guys look into everything that I spoke about, because these are amazing opportunities not everyone knows about, and you get to know about them. So hopefully they help you in figuring yourself out and figuring out what you want to do. And also, I just want to say that a passion project is not required, but I would definitely recommend a passion project to someone who might not have a lot of extracurriculars, because it shows that you're putting a lot of time into something that you really care about, and it's just that one thing. So yeah, in the near future, I'm definitely gonna do a video on how to tackle certain supplementals and how to start drafting and thinking about your personal statement. After that, I'm gonna do a Q&A on common questions that underclassmen have about the college application process or senior year as a whole. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and comment if you have any questions or if you just want to comment. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.